Okay, on pages 227 to 230, we're going to review SOHCAHTOA and right triangle trigonometry. So I'm going to do a couple problems along the way, and then you guys can start your homework. So on the top of page 227, it says it wants me to find cosine of u. Well, here's angle u, and then it gives me some information. So QG, which is this side right here, is 14.2, and GU is... Oops, sorry, this one's over here. 5.6, and QU is 15.26. And it wants cosine, so cosine of angle U, in reference to this angle, if you think about SOHCAHTOA, cosine is equal to adjacent over hypotenuse. So to this angle, this right here is the adjacent, so you're going to do cosine u equals 5.6 over the hypotenuse, which is 15.26, and then you're going to grab your calculator, and be careful because your calculators and my calculators are in radians, and you're going to leave them that way if they're mine. You can do whatever you want to your calculator. When you're on the home screen, if you press 5 and then pick number 2, document settings, it says right here that the angle is in radians. So if I go to a new document, no, I don't want to save, I want to do calculation. To find u, I know that you learned in trigonometry, or in geometry, which we use in trigonometry, cosine inverse, or arc cosine, of 5.6 over 15.26 will give you my angle. So if you press right here below control, the trig button, you find all your inverse functions, and so I want to do arc cosine of 5.6 over 15.26. The angle that it's going to give me is in radians, so if I want to convert that to degrees, I'm going to arrow up and highlight it, and then to convert, I would do times, and I need to times this by 180 over. If you press the little pi button down here at the bottom, you can get pi really easily. So there's my degree answer. And it says in the directions around your answer to the nearest thousandth. So 68.471 degrees is angle U. And then you do the same thing for tangent and sine. The only differences are the definition. So if I were to set up number 2, here's angle B. It says that the side BM is 3.6. It says that VM, this side, is 5.1, and this hypotenuse is 6.24. So here's the angle, and tangent is opposite, which is this, over adjacent. So tangent of B is going to equal 5.1 over 3.6. So in your calculator, you're going to type arctan of 5.1 over 3.6 to get your answer. Same thing with number 3. On the bottom, you don't have to do any of the math really, they just want you to complete the statement. So cosine of what angle is equal to 3.2 over 5.2? Remember, cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. So if I take what I know, I'm just going to label BZ is 4, CB is 5.12, and BZ is 3.2. Adjacent. Well, here's my 3.2. Well, the only two angles that are adjacent to my 3.2 are my 90 and my C right here, and so that means it has to be C. And if I go to the next problem, JL is 10.48, JY is 8.3, and this last side 6.4. Tangent is opposite over adjacent, so opposite to angle J is 6.4, which isn't what I need, but opposite to angle L, there's my opposite and there's my adjacent, so I want angle L. On the last part of this page, we're still doing right triangle trig, excuse me, but we need to find x. So it says that this angle right here is 33.06, and then it says that this side over here is 5.4, and I'm looking for this side right here, x. Well, you're going to use what you know. So in reference to this angle, this side is the hypotenuse, and this side over here is the opposite. So I want to do sine. Sine of 33.06 equals my 5.4 over my x. If I multiply the x over, you get x sine 33.06 degrees equals your 5.4. So x is going to equal 5.4 over sine of 33.06 degrees. So to calculate that, in our calculator, I'm going to do a fraction, 5.4 over my sine of 33.06. Here's the trick though. Right here you have to know that that angle is supposed to be in degrees, and your calculator thinks that it's in radians. So what we're always going to do when we want to enter degrees is that we're going to press the pi button down here that's right next to the H key. And in there, you'll see right below pi is a degree symbol. And you have to insert that degree symbol so that the calculator knows that the angle you're entering is in degrees. So if you do that, and then you press enter, you'll get your answer. And if I can't really see, but it's fuzzy, but if you put this in your calculator, this right here says 9.89887. We're rounding to the nearest thousandth, so x is going to equal 9.899. If I flip the page, little recap of some vocab words. The angle of elevation is from the horizon or from the flat going up in the positive direction. And the angle of depression is from the horizontal going down, making, like, in theory, a negative angle. And those vocab words are important so that you can draw your pictures accurately when you're doing story problems. So, for example, up at the top of this page, it gives you some hints for solving for the unknown side. And so example 1 says that if your distance from the foot of a tower is 20 meters, so I'm 20 meters away, sorry, and it says that my angle of elevation, so that's here, and I'm rising up, is 40 degrees, I need to find this x over here, the height of my tower. So if I wanted to set this problem up in reference to 40, this is opposite and this is adjacent. So opposite and adjacent is tangent. So you would write down tangent of 40 degrees equals the opposite over the 20. Multiply the 20 over. And then we're going to use our calculator and we're going to type it. So on my calculator I'm going to type 20, press the trig button, tangent of 40. I'm going to press the pi button and make sure that I insert my degree symbol and press enter. And your calculator is going to probably spit something out to you that is very nasty and they've converted it to radians. So arrow back up and highlight this. And instead of just pressing enter, you need to press control enter. So now you should see on your screen that x equals 16.782. And it's meters because this was in meters right here. Please, please, please make sure you label your answers, otherwise they will be wrong. On example 2 right here, it says that the angle of depression, so that's the angle going down from the top of the castle, so I'm going to go in here and I'm going to draw this. I'm going to draw the horizontal right there. And when it says the angle of depression from the top of the castle to the boat, that's this angle in here on the outside of the triangle. So this angle in here that I just drew is the 25 degrees. So this is a right angle, which means you know that this piece in here has to be 90 minus 25, so this should be 65. And then it says that I'm 50 meters away from the bluff right here. And then it wants me to find the height of my castle. So I'm just going to redraw the picture so you can see what I have. I have my castle, and I have my little boat. Best drawing ever, I know. It says at the angle of depression, so here's my horizontal. This angle in here is the 25 degrees, which means that this angle in here is 65. It says that I'm 50 meters away, and you're looking for this H height. And then you just set up your trig problem. On the next page, all you're going to do is you're going to use right triangles to find multiple pieces. So I'm going to start with example 2 down here. And example 2 says that how would you calculate the length of AB using the information provided, show all your steps. So I'm looking for this whole piece. Well, to find the whole piece, you're not really given enough information necessarily yet, but if you know that this little piece is 20 and this little piece is 30, then you know the whole thing here is 50. And if this whole thing is 50 and then this piece is 120, now you know enough to find that whole length. On example 1, you're going to do similar things except for you have multiple right triangles. So you're going to use this right triangle to find this piece, then you're going to have to use this right triangle to find this piece, and then add things together. So use the rest of the class and read your calendar, and your homework is 131 through 134. And when you get to 134, you should smile because it's the end of this book, and when you come back from Thanksgiving, you're going to get a new book. Make sure you read your calendar because this homework is due on Monday.